So Marvin Sapp introduced his new wife on Easter Sunday.
Boy, here we go.
And instead of being introduced, she addressed rumors from the internet.
Sorry, not sorry, but I think Marvin Sapp's new wife was wrong.
Now, Marvin Sapp, now we understand why you were telling people to close doors because you want to pay for this wedding.
I saw Marvin Sapp's wife in the pulpit clocking tea.
Listen, I don't even think Marvin Sapp been married for 7 to 10 business days yet, and his wife, I think her name is Labor Sapp now, has already gotten y'all together, baby. She has taken the stage on the church floor and let y'all know y'all gonna keep my husband's name out y'all mouth because he's an integral man.
And here's where the disconnect really starts, because the people in that room weren't saying anything. So now the question becomes, who was the message really for? But before we get into it, show the channel some love, hit that sub button, hit that like button, hype this thing up. Cue the clip.
This that Ramondo reacts, huh? Y'all came in for the laughs, huh? You did. Stay for the commentary cause it makes sense, huh? Real talk.
That boy is good.
We appreciate you. Despite what the haters on the internet say about you, you are an integral man. You don't take or rob the church. The church didn't pay for the wedding. Y'all stop lying. God's been good to me. Devil, you are defeated. Yeah. Saying all these lies about the man of God. I bought the helicopter. He didn't buy the helicopter. Let's make that straight while we screaming. Y'all stop lying. Stop it. Everybody not broke. And everybody don't need the church's money. So hey, God's been good, y'all. I just don't look good. But I have surrendered my life to God. And he's blessed me with multiple streams of income as well as the bishop. He has multiple streams of income outside the church. When he wasn't getting paid here, God still blessed him. God still blessed. So y'all go and record and tell that. Yeah. I tell Bishop all the time, I told God a long time ago, I'm not going to serve you and your people, and I'm broke.
Now, I can imagine for a woman, it's probably hard as hell to be a first lady, because everybody is watching everything you do, everything you say, everything you wear, including the flesh-colored dresses. But this isn't a way you're supposed to introduce yourself to the ministry. Accusations about church funds, already knowing how people feel about it. And well, let's not act like Marvin hasn't done some questionable things to lead to that assumption.
I went upstairs today to get my license and ordination renewed. I don't mind telling you, I was 2 years behind. I had to pay $2,000 to get my ordination and my licensing renewed. I pulled out my credit card. I paid my $2,000. How in the world I'm going to preach up here and not lead by example?
That's a you problem.
He asked me to give $800, went in my pocket, gave $800. Because leadership lead and they understand the cost that is involved. There's 1,000 of you. I said close them doors. Ushers, close the doors. Close the doors. Close the doors. We all gonna leave together. Y'all ain't going no place but to the restaurant. There's 1,000 of you tonight, and those that are watching, it's 1,000 that's watching online. This is a small seed. If I get 1,000 online to give this, if I get 1,000 in the sanctuary to give this, that's $40,000 tonight. I'm challenging each of you all down here to give a $20 seed.
Now, see, here's where the math ain't mathing for me. You said you paid $2,000 for your license, but I would assume since you have multiple streams of income, why are you really behind? You know what? I digress. Forget I said anything. Now, if the church wants to pay for your license, you know what? I really don't see any harm in it. If they're receiving value from you, if they're receiving a message, then, why not? Why not continue the growth? But you're asking for $40,000. Boy, that's a hell of a come up. I mean, I need those types of lessons, man. So you can see why people have questions about where these funds are actually going. But bringing it back to the first lady, why would you take that time to introduce yourself to talk about rumors?
Now, first of all, I want to give an honor to God, who is the head of my life, to the pastor, who just happens to be my husband, members, visitors, and friends. I would like to introduce myself properly. See, this what Bishop Marvin Sapp wife should have said when she started out. Was no need to be talking about the haters, because we know we got haters. Was no need to talk about who paid for the helicopter, even though you had paid for the helicopter. Was no need to be justifying who paid for what at that wedding when you know that was you and your husband business. You know what I'm saying? Church folks so messy. But I hate when the pulpit or people in the pulpit entertain the mess in the church. I hate it. And then you got to think about this. If you're in the eyesight of social media, you married to Marvin Sapp. We all know who Marvin Sapp is. I have nothing against the man because his wife has been gone, God rest her soul, for years now. And after all these years, he's found the perfect wife, the perfect soulmate. And I'm quite sure the perfect, how I want to say, Christian woman to walk down that aisle with him, his companion, after all these years. Do you think I would have been in that pulpit giving a dang about my haters? You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I think it could have been handled differently because people gonna talk. But this is another thing I can say. When you in that pulpit, you ain't gotta justify nothing to God, you ain't gotta justify nothing to nobody but God. And that's what all y'all preachers always talk about. You know what I'm saying? You supposed to give the honor and the respect to God. You ain't gotta prove nothing to nobody.
It's that simple. People want to gossip, especially in the church house, when they're bored, when they want to be entertained, or for the hell of it. But what would you have done? Let me know in the comments.
Why is all of this being said when it's your first time speaking and it's on Easter and you addressing haters and all that? Let the people talk. People don't got to know about your money and your income. That's just my opinion. Everybody don't got to know about all that. You don't got to say you paid for this and pay for that. Let them talk and say what they want to say. And then she says she's not going to serve God and his people while being broke. I mean, so you trying to say that a person if they're broke financially, they can't serve God? I mean, the poor you have with you always. And then Paul talks about being content whether you have or whether you don't have, because it's all about having glory and our treasures are being in heaven, right? This is what frustrates me about these public figures that are pastors and these celebrities. So that means you're not somebody. Like if you work a 9 to 5, you are not the example of holiness or a Christian. You got to have money like her or like them in order to be viewed as rich in God. Wow.
To elaborate on that, it's definitely ego. I feel like they think these certificates, these licenses, make them closer to God, when that's not the case. The truth is, you don't need a middleman to connect the source. But maybe that's just me.
She said, y'all need to quit lying. Stop it. She said, because everybody not broke, and she reiterated that God has been good to them. She said, I make multiple streams of income, and he makes multiple streams of income when he's not on the pulpit. Well, Miss Labors, or should I call you Miss Sapp if I didn't say your name wrong? I have a question. If y'all ain't broke, why was your now husband holding them people hostage in his church? Why did he tell the ushers to shut the doors until he got the amount that he wanted? Because if I'm not mistaken, I thought tithing was a heart posture thing. I thought that it should not feel, when I am giving to the church or giving to God, it should not feel like a pow-pow is being held to my head to give. But you know, I could be wrong.
And that's the question everybody wants to know. Were those funds used in conjunction with your wedding? If Because here's what Marvin should have said, baby. We gonna stick to the script. We not gonna deviate in it. You gonna tell them who you are, how long you been in the ministry, and what we plan to do going into the future. Keep it that simple. But maybe that's the easy part. Here's what it comes down to. And it's not about her being right or wrong, but whether that was the right moment to say it. Because when you're standing in that position, it's not just about what you say. It's about what that moment is supposed to represent. And what do you think? Let me know in the comments. Till next time, if you enjoy the content, hit that subscribe button to the right. And to the left, more dope content. Until next time, I'm out.
This that Ramondo reacts, huh? Y'all came in for the laughs, huh? You did. Stay for the commentary, cause it makes sense, huh? Real talk.
That boy is good.